Hi, my name's Ben. I work for the Game House, and today we're going to be looking at whether all of the 2-0 teams are contenders or pretenders. Now, I'm a big fan of all this early season overreaction content. I think it's really fun to look back on it and see how wrong we all were, because that's what being a sports fan is all about, is being completely wrong all of the time and acting like you know best. So, we're just going to start off with the AFC East. Obviously, the only undefeated team there is the Dolphins. Absolutely a contender. I think they could even win the AFC East now that Aaron Rodgers is down and Josh Allen has only played one good game. I think this offense is absolutely electric as long as Tua Tagovailoa is healthy. I think Tua has catapulted himself into the conversation for top 5 quarterback in the league as long as he can stay healthy. Obviously, you have Jalen Waddle, you have Raheem Mostert, who is another speedy guy, even though he's not catching the ball, and then Tyreek Hill, it all goes without saying. Defense is interesting, headed up by defensive coordinator Vic Fangio, who doesn't like to blitz a lot, so they're going to be covering a lot, maybe even doing a bunch of zone. I'm not sure how that's going to look further into the season, but again, all of this hinges on Tua's health. I'm going to assume he's going to be healthy because that's what I'm hoping for. And the Dolphins are near the top as far as AFC Championship game contenders go. No 2-0 teams in the AFC West. One 2-0 team in the AFC North. Now, they've won 2 games, but Lamar Jackson didn't play well in the first game against the Texans. Had some turnovers and wasn't really himself. Played really well against the Bengals, obviously, and then beat them in that divisional game in Cincinnati, so that's absolutely huge to send the Bengals to 0-2. I think they're contenders. I think the Bengals will have a similar start to last year. They're going to start real slow and then absolutely come on at the end of the year. They're contenders for the AFC Championship game and the Super Bowl, but it all depends on their seeding. Are the Bengals really going to come on that strongly to knock them out of that AFC North first place spot? I'm interested in that. Obviously, they're going to be injured. They're injured every year. Can the defense hold up? Seems like it always at least kind of does. And is Lamar Jackson still dynamic now that he's gotten paid? I think so. Absolutely contenders there. No 2-0 teams in the AFC South. So we're going to go over to the NFC, where most of the 2-0 teams are located. Listen, a lot was made about the AFC this year. It's the strongest it's maybe ever been. But again, you have to think about how they're all going to beat up on themselves. So those records aren't going to be as gaudy as a lot of people think. A lot of people had a lot of those AFC teams winning 12 games. That can't all happen. They're going to beat up on each other. So the NFC East has 3 2-0 teams, which is really interesting because a lot of people didn't expect it to be this good. Cowboys at 2-0. Not a lot to say other than they're definitely contenders for now. Is everybody going to stay healthy on that defense? Are they going to be able to be that dominant throughout the year? They've been incredibly dominant so far this year. Is the offense holding them back? I actually like Dak Prescott, but I don't think he has enough weapons around him to really make a difference going very far into the playoffs. Now, this is the kind of overreaction that I'm talking about. I could be proven completely wrong, but the offense is not the driving force of this team, and that's the driving force of most playoff teams with Super Bowl hopes. Eagles are 2-0, snuck away with a couple wins. I think they're also contenders, more so than the Cowboys. They had an excellent year last year, getting all the way to the Super Bowl, lost some players, lost some coaches, but I think they'll start to come on as the weather gets colder. They are a running team. They're absolutely contenders if that running game stays as strong. And then the Commanders, 2-0, they're pretenders. Listen, they are being coached very well on the offensive side of the ball by Eric Bieniemy, who obviously was the Chiefs' offensive coordinator for a long time. Won a couple Super Bowls with them, but I'm not sure this is going to hold up. Sam Howell looks great, while other quarterbacks that we know more about have not looked great, such as Josh Allen. I think they're pretenders. I wouldn't be surprised if they maybe snuck into the playoffs with a over 500 record, maybe 9-8 or something like that, but they can't win the Super Bowl this year. They're just not good enough. 49ers are the contender in the NFC, in my humble opinion. Brock Purdy is still playing well, never lost when he stayed in the game the whole time, when he's healthy. Is the rest of the team going to stay healthy with the kind of scheme that Kyle Shanahan runs? People are always getting injured on the offense. That's just how it works. You don't believe me? Watch the tape. Look at the injury list from the past few years, but they are such a deep team that I don't think it'll be a problem. I think they'll probably be in the NFC Championship game this year. And can they get got in that, or can they go all the way to the Super Bowl and win it? And then 3 2-0 teams in the NFC South, and there are none in the NFC North. The entire NFC North lost last week. So for week 3, predictions for contenders and pretenders. These are all pretenders. one of them is going to make the playoffs just by virtue of how the playoff system works. Someone has to win the South. Maybe two of them make the playoffs, but none of them are good enough to win the Super Bowl. The Falcons snuck away with a win against the Packers. Maybe they're better than we thought, but the Packers defense is still being coordinated by Joe Barry, so they're going to disappoint a lot. The Packers should have won that game. The Falcons got away with it. They are close to not even being 2-0. They might win the division, but unless that running game really becomes the identity of the entire team and Desmond Ridder gets a lot better and starts finding Kyle Pitts and Drake London way more, I don't believe in them. The Saints, same thing. Derek Carr is good. The defense is good. The team just isn't all there. I don't see them making a deep run in the playoffs. I don't see enough oomph with them. They're just not as flashy as they should be with players like Chris Olave and Michael Thomas and Alvin Kamara. Again, I'm a big fan of the defense. They're always going to be well coached, but I think coaching is holding them back. Dennis Allen, I'm not sure is the guy, even though they're 2-0. And then my favorite of all these teams in the South is the Buccaneers. They are 2-0 on the back of two great Baker Mayfield performances. Now, we've seen Baker Mayfield play great in spurts before. Is it going to stick this time? I'm not sure, but they still do have Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Rachaad White is not a fantastic running back, but he'll get the job done from time to time. And then the defense has some question marks all over it. No unit is absolutely bad. No unit is great. But this all rests on Baker Mayfield's shoulders. Is he going to continue to play well? I hope so. I hope this sort of third, fourth chance works out for him, and he carries the Buccaneers all the way to the top of the NFC South after Tom Brady, which are big shoes to fill, to say the very least. But those are my contenders and pretenders for Week 3. We're going to check up on this kind of video throughout the season, just give it a look, see where teams stand, see if my opinions have changed. But that's it for now. Let me know what you think down below, and thanks for watching. I appreciate it.